Hello everyone. Hi, can you see me? Hello everyone. Hi, can you see me? I'm not sure if I just tried this, but just a second. Can someone please confirm for me if this video orientation is all right? I can't make it out. I'm sorry. So today I'll be teaching this floral gift basket here. Hi. Hello Debbie. Hi VTK Rani. Oh, thank you Debbie. Thank you. So can I know who is joining from where? I would love to know. Hello Pooja. I would love to know. Hello Shweta. Hi. So today I'm going to teach you this embroidery hoop that has been altered into a gift basket. Okay, and you can say it's a floral basket or a gift basket. You could put in these gift cards or something here. And the best part of this gift basket is that it can stand on itself. Can you see that? Okay, so we will be learning this today. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes so that more people can join in, and then I'll be starting. Hello Hazel. Hi Bhavna. Hello Vandana. Yeah, Nathalie will be modding for us today. Thank you so much. Hi Debbie. So let's get started. I think I should get started now. So what first you'll be needing is these two embroidery hoops. Okay. So I have 8-inch embroidery hoops here. And what I'm going to do is simply just remove the outer ring from both of these hoops. You could obviously use the outside hoop as well, but I'm going to use the inner hoops only, and the outer hoops maybe I'll keep for another project. Okay. I tried this orientation. I think it's not working all right, but I tried it on my own page and it was all right. I don't know what it is with me. Maybe some error that I did, but I'm so sorry for this if it is causing you any trouble. I'll try my best once again next time, but as of now, let's just get started with how it is. Okay, so these are the hoops that I am going to use. These are 8-inch hoops. Okay, and once again, like the last time, I am going to be using this Prima Pumpkin and Spice paper collection. Here. So this is the pattern paper I'm going to use, this and this. So the first thing that you have to do is just put your embroidery hoop on the pattern paper and trace out the circle, okay, the outer diameter. So I have already done that actually, because cutting and everything would take a lot of time. So I've already cut out a circle of 8-inch diameter, and you can see that it is exactly along the outer perimeter of this circle, okay. And the next packing paper that I'm going to use is this one here from the same collection, okay. And you just need half of a circle from this, so you're good with that much. Now you also need to trace a cardboard of the same size, okay. So I'm using scrapbook.com cardboard here, and it's just the same size, exactly the same size, okay. Now what do we need to do next? To create this basket kind of structure here, what do we have to do is just cut it in half. Cut this chipboard and this pattern paper in half. So I'll just do that. Hello Dishita, how are you? I'm just going to layer both of these together and cut at the same time. It's going to save me a little time. Okay, here we go. So I guess both of these are approximately same. Now the most important thing is you cannot use half of a circle here, because then it's going to be too high, and your floral arrangement is going to be even higher. So we are just going to remove about 1 inch or half of an inch from this. So let me do that. Hello Michelle. So how is it with you guys? How are you managing these days? Hello Tara. Very soon Prima will be coming with some new stuff, so keep an eye on that. And I don't want to tell you much, but it's going to be awesome, I can tell you that. Okay, so we are done with these half circle sort of things. Okay, can you see that? Now the next step is distressing these papers. Now for this project, as you can see, I've gone with some heavy distressing, right? And it's a little bit of vintage and everything, so I've done a little bit heavy distressing. So that's what I'm going to do here with my scissors. And once it's distressed, we are going to add some inks on top. Okay. Last time my live was really long, people, so that's why I'm trying to be a little quick with things this time around, because I'm not sure how many people would want to wait for 1 hour to watch a live. So that's why. And now I'm just going to add some glue on these chipboards here, and let's add these packing papers on top. Hello Pooja, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So there we go. We have these bases ready. Now the next step is distressing these. Okay, so I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink in Vintage Photo, and lightly add this ink on all of the sides, the entire perimeter of the circle. With this project, I wanted to go a little vintage, and you know, brown is not my favorite color. It has never been, but still the combination of teal and brown looks good. So I decided that let's do it this time. So now what I'm going to do is just spread this ink a little bit on the insides. Okay. Just in a couple of places, like so. And add some water and try to just blend this ink like so. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's enough. Now let us keep. So here are my hoops. Now what do we have to do next? The next step is adding these half circles on our hoop like so. Okay. But for that, first of all, what do we have to do is attach these hoops with a little bit of hot glue over here on the top, like so. Can you see that? We have to have an opening on the back side, on the downside. Okay. So I'll just maybe add a little bit of ink on our hoops as well, so that they look tied up. The whole project is tied up together. Yes, people, if you like this project, then please leave a heart. It's really, you know, it encourages us to keep bringing new ideas for you all. Okay, so now that I'm done with this, I'll just blend this lightly using a little bit of water once again, so that it does not look blotchy, because after all it's wood and you know, it tends to absorb a little unevenly. You could also use stains for this purpose, but that would be like buying something extra for a small project. So this is a better way to go. Okay, now that we are done with these hoops, let's attach our half circles. So for this, I am going to use hot glue because it's easier, it's fast. Yeah, there we go. Just add a little bit along the outer rim. Okay. There we go. Just a second. Okay, and I'll be doing the same thing on this other circle as well. Just be very careful when you're using hot glue, because I have had some very serious burns. So it's definitely not my favorite to use, but then there is no choice sometimes. Okay, so now that we have these half circles attached, I am going to add a drop of glue on the top, and we're going to adhere it like this. Okay, just make sure that your half circles are in line with each other, like so. There we go. Just hold it in this position for some time. Just let the glue dry. Okay, like this. Okay. So the next step is adding a strip on this side so that it can contain all of that, those flowers and everything. So for that, I'm going to use a corrugated, this is a normal cardboard. It's a corrugated one, and I will be ripping off this piece from here so that it's easy to, you know, get those folds. It's easy to fold in a circular pattern. That's it. Like this. Okay, so now it's easy, it's more manageable. So what do we have to do is just hold it like this, stretch the hoops as much as we want, and add this like this. Okay, so I'll do that. Add the glue on these rims here, on these embroidery hoops. Start with one. It's always better to start with one, and when you're sure that it's adhered to that one, okay, then you can go on to the other. I'm not gonna lie, this project is a little bit tricky, but then it's useful because you can always gift something like this to someone and they can keep it, you know, because it can stand on itself, so it does not, you can always, it looks like a wreath actually, so it's useful. That's what I feel, of course. Many a times people keep asking, what do you do with all these projects that you make? So I think this is one of the things that you can actually use, you know. Okay, so now that we are done, what you need to do is push this a little bit inside. Okay, trim off any excess that you may have. Even on this side. Okay. Remove all of the hot glue strands and everything. Make it a little bit neat. And now we need to attach this pattern paper on top, like so. Okay. So I'm going to use hot glue for this, it's easier. off a little bit excess. Just going to shorten this here. Okay, so now we have to distress this edge too, and I forgot to do it with a scissor first. I'm just going to use my nails like so. And this end, you just need to push it a little bit inside, okay? Now let's scrunch it up a little bit if it's possible, to add a little bit of more vintage and distressed kind of look. Okay. Now on this hoop, you can see I had it torn over here, but I forgot to do that on this one, so we will manage it somehow. Okay, I think I'll be doing something like this. Yeah, that will look better. So let's be very careful when doing this, because you can you know, tear off excess paper, and then if you fall short of some short of this, then all of your pattern paper is going to go waste. Okay, so I think I'll go like this. Okay, I'm just improvising a little bit because I actually forgot what I had done. I did not see the project. I'm so sorry, but I'll make it look similar. Don't worry. So next, I'll once again, all of this process is just to beautify our base, because the flower arrangement, after the flower arrangement, we will not be left with much work. So this is the whole process of us working on the base, because the base also has to look equally good, right? Let's add some splatters and let's heat dry it. Hello Pinky. Every time I try to see who are the people commenting on my lives, but I don't know, I'm not very good with multitasking, I guess. So becomes literally impossible for me to follow. Okay, so now I will just attach it like this here. Okay, just a second. And just once again going to trim off the excess here. Okay, and let's distress this edge. It was a little bit longer on that side, so I had to cut it off. Okay. you could always add layers of pattern paper. It will look, just a second, I'll show you how. So like here is the leftover pattern paper from the circle I had. Okay, so what you can do is just rip it off like so and try to kind of arrange it from the inside. Okay, something like this. Just let me see how I can work this out. Yeah, maybe something like that. Give a few folds in your pattern paper to make it look a little bit old, and lightly distress the paper like so, so it looks more old and vintage. Let's fold this over here and add this like so, let's say, right? Yeah. You can see in my original project I had this. It was cut out of the circle only, the first circle. But since I forgot, so I'm just telling you how you can do it, even if you think of something afterwards. You can always go back and change it. Something like this, okay? There we go. So this is our base ready, and now I am going to use some of the black ink, black archival ink with our Adword 2 stamp. Now this stamp is one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I forgot to take out this ink. Now let's just add some ink, stamping on top. This adds a lot of interest to your project. Okay, even on these sides. Okay, so I guess we are done with our stamping as well. The next is adding something to fill our basket from the inside. Okay, I'm so sorry. That's my baby, that's my daughter. So I'm just going to rip off this paper, any kind of paper that you have. You can always use, you can always use floral foam for this, but using scrap papers is always the cheaper option. So let's do this. So I think that that much is enough for, okay, let me add a little bit more. Just tear this down. I'm so sorry for all the noise. So sorry. Okay, so now that I have filled this space relatively well, what I'm going to do next is add some, this is moss. This is, I don't know what this brand is, Spanish moss something. Okay, you can get this in any floral shops or Amazon or whatever. I'm pretty sure this is very easily available. It's going to dirty my space a little bit. Please don't mind the mess. So I am going to add this. This acts as a very beautiful filler. So I love using something organic, something from the nature on my projects usually, because they take your projects to the next level. I feel they just add a lot of detail to your projects, and yeah, I love using such things on my projects. You can find me using them very often, if not always. So I've used some hot glue for this purpose, just so that everything is in place. It's not running out of place anywhere. I'll just clean my desk a little bit. Okay, so there we go. Okay. So our base is almost ready now. Yeah, it's ready, in fact. Not almost, it's obviously ready. So next we will jump on to our embellishments. And you can see I've used mostly similar flowers in tones of yellows, orangish, and peach, maybe some brown and everything. So that's what I'm going to use on this one as well. And you can totally customize this with according to your wish. Like you could make a Christmas wreath out of it, or Christmas basket, or maybe a fall basket, a birthday basket, or whatever you have, you know, whatever you wish to. So the first things first, what we need to do is we need to add some flowers on the back side of this arrangement. You know, you can see how I added a few flowers on the back side of this arrangement. Now these flowers won't show, obviously, but the thing is, for these flowers, the front flowers, to show that properly, you know, facing you, towards you, we have to use these flowers, because they will act as a, you know, rest for these flowers. So let's get working on the back side flowers first. So I'll add a couple of pumpkin and spice flowers, and just add a drop of glue on your flower. Add it on the back side here. Okay, once again a drop of glue. Now flower arrangement is something that you have to work a couple of times around how you want your floral cluster to go, because the thing is that it's really difficult to get you know, organic flow with your floral clusters. But because when you are making your floral cluster, it has to look beautiful, it has to look organic. So you have to spend a little bit more time on how to arrange your flowers and everything. So just give it a little bit time. Don't panic, don't hurry. There's nothing to hurry about it. So just give it a little bit time. And the best trick that I can give you to seeing whether your floral arrangement, your project is working or not, it actually is looking good or not, is just finish off, do not adhere anything permanently, and take a photograph of it. Okay, and look at your project in your photograph. Don't look at it like so in front of your eyes. Don't keep it in front of your eyes and look at it, especially not like, you know, at a very short distance. Even if you want to see your project just with your naked eyes, keep it at a distance and then look at it, or take a photograph and then look at it, because only that ways you will come to know what are the faults in your project, where you have gone wrong. Because there's something that it tends to tell you that whether the project is balanced or it is not balanced. Okay, so try taking a photograph of your project and then decide whether you want to add more flowers, you want to reduce some flowers from some places, what changes you want to make in your project. So that is what I do, and plus yeah, that's what I do. So now let's get started with the flowers on the front. So for this I am going to use a mix of flowers. Okay, so these flowers that I'm using are from the autumn sunset collection. We launched that a couple of, I think, last year. So this is from our last year's collection, autumn sunset, and the rest of the flowers that I'm using are from pumpkin and spice. So this is still available on scrapbook.com. It's a gorgeous pack. These flowers are from this same collection, autumn sunset. Okay, so these were the left ones in the pack, so I'm using those. So now let's start adhering these on the vine. So I have two vines here and I'm still to make a choice on which one to use. Hello Aditi, thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm still not sure which one to use, so I'll just maybe open it up and see which one goes better. So just let me know which one do you like. Oh, thank you, Liz. Okay, I have. Okay, thank you. So I think I should use this. What do you say? I like those. I've not used those. I like these. These are popping out of the project just so beautifully. So I'll be using these flowers, okay? So now what do you need to do is just take your vine and decide on how you want it to flow, because that's very important. Earlier I was going with this kind of flow, but I had this, you know, the torn part, it was getting blocked, so I decided to go with this, and I repeated the same thing all over again. I could have done it on this side. Anyways, let's open this up. Because this is a very thick wire on the back, so you don't want to have many folds in it, so that's why I used my finger. So you can just wrap it around your finger, open it, loosen it up, okay, like so. And then try to make the fall a little bit organic. So on this project I've made it like this. I'm just trying to see if I can maybe do something like this. The thing is, I've already added those flowers on the back side there. Let's do it like this only. So now that you've decided how your vine wants to go, just open these vines a little bit. Not all, if you don't want all, just a little bit. Okay. And yeah, so these flowers, they will be going, most of the flowers will be going on the vine itself. So that's why I've added I've been fiddling with the vine, because I wanted a spot for this one first, because some of my flowers are going to go on the vine itself. Okay, so this flower is also from the autumn sunset collection, and I'm just going to take out a few of these tiny roses and everything, and the rest we are going to use inside the bouquet. So let's just add this flower like here. Try to just, you know, fluff up your flowers a little bit. It adds a little bit dimension to your flowers. They look more beautiful. So just fluff them up a little bit like this. Okay. Yeah. Just adhere this vine so that it's in place for the time being. with a drop of glue. Okay, like this. And this one over here, let's see. Okay, I'll use the other ones inside. And these large flowers, once again add a drop of glue, and I may have to use a few more flowers, just because this flower is a little small than the last one. So let's add a small flower from the pumpkin and spice collection. Most of the flowers here that I'm using are from the pumpkin and spice collection. Only I think 2 of them are from the autumn sunset. And the best part is they're still available on scrapbook.com. Okay. Now, just a second, I'll add this. Okay. Now that you have to, keep on adhering your flower petals and everything from all sides, just so that they are in place. They don't get here, they don't go here and there, because, and once your flow, everything is ready, you can see how sturdy it is. It's not falling. None of the flowers are falling or anything. So this is just temporarily, because we do not want to adhere anything with a lot of hot glue and then be like, oh, this is wrong, so I need to remove it from here. So then that's what I avoid doing in my project. So that's why I use only a tiny bit of hot glue every time. And I advise you to do the same until and unless you're really happy with how you've placed your flowers and everything. Don't commit to something. Right? So you can see I just twisted this sunflower from this position to this position. I just manipulated its place a little bit so that I can fit in this flower from the into the vine. Okay. Now the white flower for some contrast. Oops. Something like this. Okay. Can you see that? So we'll just find spots for our flowers first, and then we will try to, shape them later on. First things first, like find a spot for your flowers first, and then try to shape them, try to manipulate the shape of the flowers, the leaves or the twigs and everything. So the next that I have done here is a sunflower. So these are Prima's gorgeous sunflowers from the pumpkin and spice collection. And these flowers are like, after a long time, I've been so excited about something that's yellow. Yellows and browns, no, I don't like them. No. Can you see how everything that I'm adding is still in line with the flow of the vine, okay? Even though I have formed a cluster over here, it's still in line with the flow of the vine. So that is our basic purpose, is to make sure that your eyes have some, because what the tendency of the eye is to follow a pattern, a flow, okay? So whatever project you're doing, just make sure that when a person looks at your project, he knows, his eyes know instantly that this is the flow of your work. Randomly placing anything anywhere just confuses your brain, just confuses your eye. So try to do this, because try and yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so next thing is, I added these flowers here. So I am just going to, okay, let's add these to this cluster. Something like this. And something like this. Okay. So I just remember, I'm just placing the flowers right now. I am not shaping them or anything. Okay. So you just have to remember this first. Just place your flowers first. Remember, because if I start shaping the flowers right now, it's going to be very difficult, you know, because there are many things that still need to go in place. So I cannot shape the flowers. I just have to first arrange the flowers where they need to go. Forming a floral cluster was like, I used to struggle. I still struggle with it, in fact, a lot. But yeah, once you finalize a gorgeous cluster, it's like the most satisfying thing, right? Okay, so now I think I am final with my floral cluster. I may add a couple of tiny flowers in between. I'm not yet sure of those, but as of now I know that this is going to be it. So let's start shaping our flowers and adding a little bit of extra glue wherever it's needed. These leaves also have wire at the back of them, on the back side, so you can always shape these leaves. Do remember that you don't need your leaves, you don't have to leave your leaves flat. You can always shape them. When was the first time that you bought a Prima flower pack for yourself? When was the first time? Because I remember buying, I think in maybe 2014. I don't remember. No, not 14, 13. Yeah. At that point in time, supplies were really difficult to find in India, but now we have so many stores and everything. Prima is everywhere right now. So I'm just tucking a few of these leaves on the inside of this flap here. Okay. And maybe I'll add a couple of flowers on this side as well. Okay, this was not a perfect choice for a flower because both the colors, this and this, were like literally blending with each other. So this wasn't a perfect choice for the flower that on that side. So I added a white one here. And let's add a small flower here. So this basket is actually really flower heavy. So it can you can easily transform this to a wreath or something. Okay, I'm just going to snip this off. Okay. Yeah. So in this basket, as you can see, I have trimmed off these small flowers and everything. I'm just going to leave it like that in this one. Maybe I'll just snip off this leaf here. I'm just removing a couple of leaves so that it does not look a lot, you know. Okay. So now that we are almost happy with the shape of our cluster, I think I will want to place one flower here as well, maybe something like this. Yeah. Like this. Okay, so now that I'm ready with how the floral cluster is looking, the next thing is adding some details into this cluster. You need these. We do not pay a lot of attention to details because, you know, some of us have looked, okay, I worked so hard on everything, now it's finished. But no, it's not yet finished. You have to add some details, because it's not the larger things that you see on a project that are adding to the detail. The detail is always added by the smaller things, you know, the tiny things that you add in there. So for that, you can use art stones. These are Prima art stones in the, I think this is the normal and the mini size. And I also like to add some sequins or, you know, beads, something like this. So this is what I'm going to add here today. So let's get working on this. Always remember to add some details, because that literally elevates your project, you know. If your project is in 80, it takes it to maybe 100, 95. So first of all, what I'll do is, okay, first let me add the gesso, because if I apply these art stones and everything and then add the gesso, maybe they'll fall off. So I'll first add this gesso. Now, why do you need to add this gesso? For me, on this project, the reason that I'm adding this is because there are a couple of tones of you know, browns and yellows in this project. Gesso, what it'll do is it'll just unite this whole thing together. It'll make like one single unit, because the moment you add it to each and every part, like, and I'm using a sponge here. I'm not using a flat brush, because if you are heavy-handed, trust me, your flowers will not look as beautiful. Okay, so try using a sponge, something like this, or maybe, you know, I can't see my sponge here, but this comes in very handy when you're doing something like this. What you can do is just add a little bit of gesso on top of this. Do not overload this brush, and lightly start doing this. I know many people don't like flowers when they're coated with gesso and everything, but trust me, it helps unite the whole project. If you have 2 or 3 colors going on in your project and you want to make your project look, you know, like one piece tied up all together, this will help. And see how I'm adding gesso on my petals? They are just highlighting the outer, you know, the outermost edges. Can you see that? I'm not adding a bulk of gesso on top of my flowers. This will just help all of my flowers come together, come to life. The purpose of gesso on this project, I'm not saying this is the only purpose of gesso. It's on this project that I'm telling you. So the moment you do this, all your flowers will gain some dimension as well. There are some strings of hot glue. I should have used a heat gun first, but it's okay. So very lightly, just keep on brushing this gesso on top of your flowers. Okay. I love doing this technique. It does not overload my flowers with a lot of gesso. It does not reduce their beauty or anything. It just increases their dimension and increases their depth. Just ties up the whole project together. Okay. There you go. I think I'm almost done with this. Now once I've added it to all my flowers, I will add a little bit of gesso on this as well, just so that it all looks a part of one project. Okay. How do you like this project till now? Please do let me know. I'm not sure how long has it been. I don't have a clock in my room. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to snip off this leaf from here as well. Okay. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you so much. Okay. If there are a lot of hot glue strands, just use your heat gun to melt them away. Now just keep on adjusting till you're happy with everything, how everything is looking. And okay, so now I will add these tiny details on my project. So Prima has a lot of satin crystals, and these I have hoarded these because they are just so pretty. You can add you can literally match whatever you want on your project. There are so many of them. So this is from the autumn sunset once again, and I'm going to use it here in a couple of places. So yeah, just tuck this one on the inside. I think that's a little bit too colorful for my project here, so I'll use this one, maybe a couple of them here. Let's switch. Okay, and the next thing is adding these details. Once again, as I told you last time, I am not short, in fact I'm out of my soft gels, so I am going to use just this tacky glue and wet my brush with some water here, pick it up, pick the stones up, and just start adding. Once again, do the same thing. And it's not necessary to add the art stones on all of the flowers, because then it won't look as good. Just make sure to add them a little bit here and there, okay, so that it looks like something like it's been tied up together, because you don't want the same thing happening on each and every flower. the same thing, like the same art stones, the same micro beads or something like this. Now on this project I'm not going to add glitter, which is but I did not because the whole, you know, the look of this project was a little vintage, so I decided not to add glitter on top of it. Now just remember, even though this is looking watery, it is glue, so when you let it dry, everything is going to adhere itself. Now coming on to the mini art stones. Just pick up the art stones on your brush and do a swirling motion to remove all of them. Okay, something like this. Now brush the excess everywhere, even on the moss, because of course it is also a part of your floral arrangement, right? On the stems, on the leaves, just the same thing that gesso did, these details are adding. These details are doing the exactly same things the gesso did, you know, tying up the whole project together, because they are running from one end of the project to the other end, so they are doing exactly the same thing. Oops. Now this will show more on the white ones, so yeah. Okay, now I am going to add some white sequins here. Not a lot, just a little here and there. Okay, there you go. I'll just remove these things. Just give me a second. So there we have, almost ready. And now what we'll do is, okay, before we do this, we need to add some mold tools here. So I have this decor mold from primaMarketing. This is from the memory hardware line of Prima. Just a second. Okay, I don't remember. Yeah. So I used this mold to make out this piece here, and I used this. I'll just show you just a second. I used the amazing casting resin, and it's white in color, it dries white, so I used this one here. And now what I have to do is just simply add some, maybe I'll use this piece, because something like this, okay? Or should I use this one? Let me see. So first thing, we need to color this with black. I did color one and keep it aside, but yeah, it's here. So I colored this in black gesso, okay? And now I am going to highlight this using our Firebird, the wax. Simply use your fingers. It's the fastest way, especially because You just want the the highlight only on the raised areas, so using your finger is the fastest way. And this is a small piece, you don't need to take out your brush. So let's add this. Now we need to tuck it such that it's underneath all of these layers. So I should have done this. No, it's okay. Maybe I'll just remove this flower first. Just center it like this. Add some hot glue. Now the flower that I had removed, I'm just going to place it over here like this. Okay, there we go. And last thing is tying up a bow on top. So here I have, because the hot glue was showing and it does not look pretty, so I will be adding this bow on top. I'm really bad at tying bows, I'm sorry. Oops. Something like that. You get it, right? Something like that. Yeah, maybe. Okay, there you go. I've tied the bow as well. Okay, and last thing is, now if your bow is running here and there, you can always add a drop of hot glue or any glue and just place it as you want it, because that is what I did on this one here. You see, it's not moving because I've added hot glue on it, just a tiny bit, so it does not show. Just touch the tip of the hot glue gun. That's more than enough. And now I'll just add a little bit of, so that's a lot, gesso on this ribbon as well, so that it does not look out of place. Okay, and yeah, I forgot. This, we need to add some bows on the bottom here. This is normal jute cord. I got it from Michael's. You can use any jute cord that is like not too thick and does not have a lot of frizz in it, okay? Because if your jute has a lot of frizz, it may look untidy a little. You can always use a lighter to burn off the frizz if your project has a lot of jute, if you're doing a project that has jute in it. Okay, so I'm just going to use a brush to tuck it in place. Now on this project I've used 2 of these bows. You can add as many as you want. Okay, so I think we're almost ready. This one is a little bit more distressed and this is a little less distressed as compared to our previous, the sample one. Just add a few sequences here. Okay, so here we have both of our altered hoops ready. Now this would make a gorgeous gifting kind of project. You could gift it at any point, whatever point of time you want to gift it in. Like if you want to use it for a birthday, use a birthday collection. If you want to give it for Christmas, use a Christmas collection. So you can always customize it according to your needs. But this is a very feasible option, I think, to use your flowers. How pretty does that look, doesn't it? All those gorgeous prima flowers, right? So there we have. I hope you enjoyed this live. Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you. Uh, Thank you, Aditi. Thank you so much. Pooja, thank you. Thank you, Vandana, for being there. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope it wasn't too long. And I hope you will try this and share it with me. And yeah, thank you so much for being there. And see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye.